which is really helpful. So I've been able to hold on to it for a while. Just some red wine and olive oil vinaigrette. And I'm going to chop this lettuce up with a little bit of the onion and maybe a couple of those orange pepper slices. And I was thinking that I would throw in some walnuts with it as well overall. And then let me make sure I keep the chat back up for everyone here. Didn't mean to get out of the groove there. And then one of the other oddballs that I have today is that we do have some cilantro. We do have some cilantro here. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, I want my chat up. I don't want the video playing anymore. 1 second as I peruse this. There, just a couple button clicks away. Okay, but before I really get into it, if you excuse me one moment while I wash my hands, but we'll keep on going over the ingredients real quick. But I will have to dip off and do that real quick. I just don't have a camera onto the sink this time. It's going to keep the array of vegetables and stuff. So what we're going to do is also, so we're going to do the stir fry, but what we're going to use this asparagus for is that in this pot over here, we're going to be making a cold asparagus soup, and we'll be using some of the diced onion here, and then also this potato as well. And we'll be boiling that in some water to cook it, and then I'm going to actually use an immersion blender to blend everything. However, you can also use a traditional blender, or if you make smoothies with a NutriBullet, that's another great option. There's some NutriBullets too that actually have a soup option, which allows you to heat it up. But like I said, this is a cold soup. This will be a cold asparagus soup that we'll be making here with a cream of mushroom base and one potato. And as you can see, you might be able to tell that there's a little bit of root. So we're going to skin the potato here. We're not going to roast it because the potato is starting to age. When you're getting your potatoes, you should try to purchase potatoes on what you're going to use within the week. If you can store them underground actually if you want to get like months and months supplies of potatoes, but you have to have the right setup for that. Otherwise, if you just are in an apartment or just a standard house, there will be sunlight on your potatoes. You can't get them deep enough underground where they won't stop doing the little rootings. Alright, I'm going to get my hands washed real quick and we'll start firing everything up. Thank you all for joining me tonight. This is going to be probably hopefully I have everything charged up enough. This is going to be a pretty awesome stream tonight. I'm really excited for it. And then it took me about 15 minutes after pulling all this stuff out of the fridge to really figure out the directions that I wanted to go into it. And then also, if you have any questions, I will be referring to chat as often as I can. I am pretty good at chatting and cooking at the same time. It's one of the only benefits I got from cooking online for over 7 years. Is that I'm able to BS and cook at the same time. Pretty much the only achievement I got there. Alright. And then I am also going to polish off the last of this peanut oil that we got here. I'd say that's about 4 tablespoons of peanut oil that I'm going to use. And then if peanut oil I have on hand because I also have a smaller fryer up above, and peanut oil is the oil I use when I heat it up and use it for a fryer. I do like using sunflower oils for ceramic coatings just because olive oil on ceramic coated dishes, which I've been seeing have been in the stores, have been getting more popular, these ceramic coatings. Olive oil can really mar them, and since I'm on that subject, I'll actually just show you So before I do that, this guy here is now my tortilla maker, but you can see how badly this ceramic used to be all this color. It's gotten really marred and then also really hot on the bottom here. You know, this is just to show how much cooking I've done, and it's not too marred. But like I said, I use this specifically. It's been put to the side for a specific use because you can see it is a pretty marred utensil. All right. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to see how much of this heavy cream I have. I believe I have about 1 cup. So I need about 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to start cooking my potato and my asparagus here with a little bit of salt. I'm going to put that to 5. It won't be quite boiling. And then I am going to give all my vegetables a quick rinse again over here in the sink. And then I am going to give these more that you can do 1 inch, but because I'm going to be using a hand mixer, a hand puree instead of a mixer, I'm going to do a little bit more of the work. I'm going to cut this in like 1/2 inch instead of 1 inch pieces. And I'm not so sure how well the camera will capture this. Well, I believe I have the cutting boards available on both sides. If it looks good, feel free to say hello in the chat if you have any questions about what I'm doing here. And then also I'm going to take out more of this white part right here, more of the rooty stuff. It's still on some of this asparagus here. We want it nice and green because this is going to be more fibrous and we really don't want it. We want something that's more green, easier to puree. And then we're also going to skin our potato as well. We're going to want to get that in right away as well. Let's see. And I'm not being very stingy, like you can see how much I just took off. That's because I want this to be a very nice salad, or excuse me, soup that we're making here. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead put those directly in. My potato here, I'm going to scrub it in water real quick. I have the potato peeler here, makes it real quick and easy. I'm over the trash can real quick, just peeling back. And then anything like this, what you can do here is that's what this tip of this is for. Anything that's marred, you just can go in and you can just scoop it out like so to remove it. I'm quickly peeling this, getting all the skin off because like I said, this is an older potato. And then the trick that we're going to do here for this soup is that, again, I'm also going to do a lot of the work and going to dice this potato. And that's going to increase the surface area, which will allow it to cook quicker. Now I'm just using a russet potato here, or maybe it's an Idaho potato, and this is kind of a modification of a recipe that would use a cream of mushroom, or excuse me, a cream of potato instead of a cream of mushroom. I happen to have a potato on hand, so I'm going to go ahead and go all the way. And then I don't want, I'm using as much of this onion I can. I might have a little bit left over. I'm using about a quarter cup of onion that I'm throwing in there as well. And then I'm going to turn up the heat to 7. I'm going to go ahead and give it a lid as well. You know, I am going to go for it because there's just so little onion yet left, and the point of this is to use our leftover produce. So this isn't an exact recipe, this is just cooking with what we have on hand. So I'm adding a lot to this recipe that I had, which is just a cold asparagus soup recipe. I'm making a couple of modifications because I had some heavy whipping cream on hand, and I'm using a cream of mushroom. And then again over here, when we start, we are going to be sauteing our vegetables. I do need to get some water, and here will be my next step. And I'm going to add, now I had 1 3/4 already measured. I'm going to go ahead and add that in, and so now instead of a 1.5 cups of water, we're at 1 3/4 cups, and it does need just a little bit more water, and we also still need that salt. So I'm going to add another 1/3 cup to make it 2 cups of water. And the potatoes are going to suck up all that salt. Potatoes will be carrying the salt. And we'll let those cook for about 4 minutes before we have to do anything else. Maybe about 8 minutes. We're going to go ahead and just start a timer for 10 minutes. And that's just to, if you are inexperienced with line cooking, we cook many things at once, and that's how you save time on it. As you're building up, you might be only able to be focusing on one project at a time. This just setting a timer will let you start knowing like how long it takes you to do things, like how long it takes you to cut an onion or to get your soup ready and stuff. And then that's how you can start cooking without having to note the time, and that's how you can prevent yourself from burning stuff, because if you know this takes 7 minutes for you to do or quicker, then you can have that time and not really be looking at this if it takes like 7 minutes to cook itself. You just have to be, stirring it every once in a while. So I'm going to get about 2 cups of water in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on to 7 as well. So 2 more cups of water. I have an extra cup on standby here. That was 1 cup. There's 2 cup. Okay, 2 cup. And with my spaghetti here, breaking in half, putting it in. I have some kitchen scissors on hand. That makes it really easy to open up. I'm going to get a second serving. And then if someone's trying like a new recipe of yours, try to think smaller, go for a smaller portion just in case they don't like it. Or sometimes people, are polite and they'll eat the food, but it's a nice gesture to sometimes, if people are newer to your cooking, to to let them, to just give them smaller portions allows someone to be able to also have their manners and being able to eat something and just finish something that they might not have liked too much. So I'm going to put a lid on this, and I am going to put this on a 5 to start heating up on my oil, and I'm going to start preparing my broccoli next. And I'm going to give both my broccolis another rinse here. Now this is where I do like having kitchen towels around, because I'm going to be cooking in oil and I don't want to be steaming it. I don't want the oil will be sitting over the water and it'll be evaporating. It's a whole mess, so I'm trying to dry out my broccoli here. Now I'm going to be working fairly quickly because we are doing a couple things at once. So I am just cutting. It's not, yeah, let's go ahead and cut. So this, we can pick the right knife for the job, and in this case, this will work out a little bit better. We're just going in, cutting portions out. Now I'm a little bit less experienced on being able to tell you on using a paring knife on like the safety, but generally I'm still like, even in case I slipped, I am kind of holding the direction of the blades going this way, and I'm keeping my fingers underneath, and also I'm holding it in a way that I'm very unlikely to actually hit my fingers. Alright, so unstem the broccoli there. So the broccoli, and the oil is just heating up here. So you have the broccoli on the side, and then we're going to go ahead and get this pepper ready as well. I've already washed these on themselves. And thin slices here is what I'm going for. And for the salad, I'm looking for about some pieces that don't have the rind in it. I'm setting those off to the side. The rest of this will go into the stir fry here now. Noting the timer, 5 minutes. Don't want any big piece too big. And some of it just might not go well with the dish. You can add this if you're in, but if you're looking for presentation and overall quality taste, just remove this from the process. Like I said, we have this over on the side for the salad that we'll be making. And then we're going to go ahead, and just so this isn't too much of a mouthful, we will give it one sliced over. A couple of them survived. And a little bit more for the salad over here. Here's a red pepper, same. I'm going to go for 3 cuts this time. And then again, anything that's too... Oh, did I just lose a light? I'm not sure what happened there. This is the same thing as just removing, you know, the fat pieces from the meat, or just pieces of meat that wouldn't go too well with the dish. The same thing with the vegetables. And then this caught the spaghetti, and now that the spaghetti's come to a boil, what I like to do is I like to add a bit of salt. Oop. Overspilled a little bit. I want to go ahead and put a lid on those potatoes. And I can hear the oil popping. Now all we got to do is prepare this onion. So I'm going to go ahead. It still has got skin on. I'm going to cut it in half. Cut in half again. And this is intentional. What I'm doing here is all this was clean and stuff, and now this has the onion skin on it, which has been outside and is dirty. So I'm removing that. I'm just taking this half right here and thin slices. Cut it half again. Now we have the whole stir fry mix. And we'll go ahead, like I said, we were setting those over on the side there. Our 10-minute timer is about to go off, so we have about maybe 2 minutes left on this pasta here, and we're just really we're just cooking this down because we're going to puree it, so we want it as soft as possible. I'm going to go ahead and reset this kitchen timer back to 10 minutes, and we'll keep on going at it. I'm going to go ahead Now it may seem like I had a lot of oil for that 4 or 5 tablespoons that I had, but all said and done with the amount of vegetables that I have on there, it was an appropriate amount. It's nice and heated. Perfect timing to get that added in. And we're making sure we don't want to, I don't think it's the end of the world if you overcook your pasta on a stir fry. That's still something I'm personally trying to figure out, is if on a stir fry, if it's better to overcook the noodle or to undercook the noodle. Adding all the little bits back into there. And now we're going to see where our pasta's at. We're going to give this a quick taste. It's needs 2 more minutes. Is what we're looking on this. We're going to grab a potato because the potato is what we need to be really soft. I'm going to try that. That can be covered. Oops. Let's use that one. So at 7 minutes, we'll take care of that. And we want to be cooking these for about 5 minutes. And it's at a medium heat here. I'm going to prep I still have another use for this onion here. I'm going to add some of it to the side salad that we're making. And the same thing, we're just going to cut thin slices here. You can't have, the onion will really overpower this salad really quick, but we are using a red wine and olive oil vinaigrette, so this should be pretty interesting. We're going to do walnuts with it as well for the dressing. So we still have some leftover onion here. And this will go, this leftover here, this will go great on a sandwich. So I'll just throw that in a jar, and that last can be finished off with a sandwich in the morning. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and take care of this pasta real quick. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and just full on strain it today. Usually I have one of these, use one of these smaller, just goes on and I dump it out. If I do need it removed, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat here. And what I'm going to do, just because it's just hot, so I'm going to add water back into this, put the metal back on. And it's gonna be hot, cool off, but I just need a couple more minutes to the 3-minute mark here. Sorry for the noise there. Okay. So I did have some garlic set aside too, but I ended up being too lazy to use any of it today. Let's go ahead, wipe down our cutting board real quick. Notice how I have all my handles in. I don't have anything out I can accidentally hit, knock off, spill, hurt myself. So this should be looking pretty good here soon. Check out another potato. Sweet, nice and soft. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat on that. I'm going to go ahead. And whenever I'm working with this processor, I always have it unplugged. I know that the handles here will keep it from... I'm just not taking any risks of accidentally ever bumping that button with my fingers down here. Hands are too important to a cook. So we got that latched on, now we'll get it plugged in. Didn't realize the cutting board there would be such a big pain in the butt. Alright. About 1 more minute left on this. And then I was always afraid to do immersion blender recipes for people because I thought it just outpriced too many people that was cooking. But you can find these for as cheap as $25, and it's okay to invest in one that's $25 because now you might really start loving the amount of soups that you can make and stuff. And then that would be okay to maybe go look for something a little bit higher quality, but for the amounts that you will be using it for the first year about, you will be able to get by with a $25 blender. Just make sure you clean it. Alright. This is about to brown here. Oops. Throw the goodness back in. Throw the goodness back in. I have my stir fry. Oh. It's the soy sauce. Whoopsies. Do I have any stir fry sauce? One of these things is not like the other. Okay, so what we're going to do going through 3 tablespoons. It's almost hit our second 10 minutes. Half a tablespoon of flour. Since we're already making it up anyway, a quarter tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Alright, and then keep the handle off of the hot burner there. And we're going to focus back on our soup here real quick. So we still need to add the cream of mushroom soup. That was a little bit too big for it. Rinse off that wooden spoon as clean as you go, sign of a pro. Got this littler guy here. I was doing this all pretty quickly, so I did forget to add these green onions that we had when we made that on episode 1, unfortunately. So you know what? We'll just have those in with the salad there. Now for the salad portion, I'm going to go ahead, going to go ahead and rinse off the rest of this lettuce. Alright, I'm going to go ahead give these a few chops. We're going to grab a mixing bowl here. Alright, now let's see how we did. That worked out just fine. Okay. I'm going to want to make sure to pick up some of those juicy vegetables too. And this is what we're eating tonight. This is going into the fridge. This is a rendition of a cold asparagus soup. Ooh, I haven't even opened this yet. And then I am going to add in my 1 cup. Oh no, oh, nope, still clean, still golden. Perfect, never even needed to use that. Alright, I'm curious how the soup came out. I was down to the last spoon. I commit all my sin of going to the dishwasher. Alright. Let's see how well we did with the soup here. It still hasn't cooled off, mind you. Oh, you know, that is just... Oh, I like that. Let's see, did we manage? We have not managed to use the cilantro. I was scared to throw into the salad because this got such a nice texture going on. I guess we could pepper in the green. You know, I'm gonna be bold. once more for the show. We'll see what we did there. Oh man, I'm so happy I did that. Oh man, that totally, I can't describe how well that just added, like, it enhanced the flavor. It was like an episode of Food Wars. Alright. Now we have all the burners off. Alright, serve up the dishes. And we good. Oh, right, the salad. Okay, the salad. So, right. You were stuck on this part where I hadn't even opened it up. And really giving this a shake. We're looking to start with 2 tablespoons. Go ahead and give that a mix. I said I wanted to add in some walnuts to this as well. We're gonna try a couple pieces just by itself real quick. That pairs pretty well. And the walnut, yeah, this is going to do well. We're going to do the walnut instead of a breadcrumb. So just a small handful I keep pecans and walnuts on hand, and those are what I use my jars for. Ooh, I almost did a mistake. I want it in the salad, not in the... There we go, and you can see how that just finished off giving the salad the color. So, and we'll split those off into 3 salads, and there you go, people. That's how you have 0 food waste in the kitchen. Alright, let's go ahead. Whoop! Oh no! Oh no! There goes my vinaigrette. That's why clean as you go is the sign of a pro. And like I said, on small servings, now this might not be everyone's type of salad. So like I said again, just give someone like just the tiniest salad. Like so. Put that on the side for them. And then for me personally, I'll just toss it in all like that for myself. I'll grab the rest of these veggies here. And something I want to clean right away is this immersion blender. I don't want to leave that sitting for too long. Alright, let me go get this to some people before it gets too cold on them, and I'll be right back. And we'll just finish tidying up because there's quite a bit of a mess here. Bigger mess than usual, actually. And I spilled the salad dressing. Rip. Oh, I forgot the lemon juice. This is already perfect without the lemon. Whenever I'm cleaning up big food messes, now I do have an array of hand towels, but you'll make your laundry really complicated if you have like food towels in with your regular laundry. It just really doesn't mix well. So paper towels are definitely the way to go. All right, and then I do this. Ooh, I have a paper towel right in front of me. I'm going to do this in 2 steps. Again, yes, I am a jar collector. That does happen. You have to be confident with that pour, otherwise it'll go over the lip. I have about 4 cups here. See, it happened with the measuring of all things. Something that has a spout. Okay. And then sometimes, this is really nice size to give to your friends. to try some new soup that you made. Oh, looks like I dirtied an extra one here. My bad. No worries, I'm the one doing the dishes. Now I was moving fast, which is why I just used so many paper towels today. Alright. And there you have it, folks. Now I'm gonna just finish up cleaning up the room here, and then I'm gonna actually sit down, have a bite to eat. I think I have the cameras figured out well enough, but I'm gonna take care of the dishwasher and stuff. Give this a little pause on that. Yep. I just gotta make sure that the kitchen's just not a wreck. That will mean putting away the dishwasher, but let's enjoy this scrumptious food. I actually really want to dig in. I do have things pretty clean. Like I said, I want to finish cleaning this. I won't have to bother with it later. I also detach if it has something detachable. Gonna get these sauces put away. And then with open spaghetti, I'll show you the type of container I use to store this. You guys might wonder, like, what is the use of a long jar like this? Well, it's great for stick size for storing your pastas, like so.